Welcome to the World Buzz Bulletin. Tonight we're looking at rising questions, rising fears, and rising voices as Australia moves ahead with one of the world's toughest social media restrictions for young people, and teenagers themselves are offering a brutally honest verdict. Australia is preparing to ban social media for children under the age of 16 from the 10th of December, a move the government says is essential to protect kids from cyberbullying, predatory behavior, misinformation, and content that experts now link to anxiety and self-harm. For officials, it is a landmark step, something they insist will set a new global standard for online safety. But the people who will be most affected by the law have quickly made it clear they are not going to stay silent. Interviews with teenagers across the country show a mix of frustration, resignation, and a quiet determination to stay connected no matter what. Many are openly asking how a ban could ever be enforced in a world where VPNs are free, devices are plentiful, and workarounds spread faster than official guidelines. Some young people say the government simply doesn't understand how deeply social platforms have become part of their social lives, school routines, and even their sense of identity. Others admit that social media can be toxic, but argue that banning it outright will only push teenagers into riskier corners of the internet, away from parents and teachers who might otherwise help. There's also growing concern that the ban could widen a digital gap between families with resources and those without. Teens from wealthier backgrounds may easily find technological loopholes, while others will be forced offline completely, creating what some youth advocates describe as a new form of inequality. Meanwhile, cybersecurity experts warn that heavy restrictions can backfire, encouraging young people to seek unregulated apps or private messaging networks where harmful content is harder to track. Despite the backlash, Australian officials remain firm. They argue that the risks now outweigh the convenience, and that social media companies have repeatedly failed to protect minors. The government says enforcement tools, including age verification systems, are being developed, even though critics insist those systems are still incomplete and in some cases intrusive. What's clear is that as the rollout date approaches, the debate is only intensifying. Parents are split, educators are unsure, and teenagers themselves say they're preparing for a reality that may look very different from the digital life they've always known. The world will be watching closely to see whether this bold step becomes a new global trend or a deeply contested experiment. Thank you for watching the World Buzz Bulletin. Stay informed, stay aware, and join us next time for more of the stories shaping our world.